chops his arm off. And
he does like a jumping, slicing down, like blast the guy's arm off.
But that's not enough. He uses that arm as a bludgeoning weapon to like beat the shit out of it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into episode 2 of The Good, the Bad, and the Idiots. Good, of course, because we watch a good movie. Bad, because we watch a bad one. And idiots, because that should be self-explanatory. So, we watch a good movie, a bad movie, and compare them. Dylan, what is the good movie that we're watching today?
We watched Hard Target with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And this movie was made in 1993.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and it's... I remember it rocked my world back in the day. It was so awesome when I first saw it. And, I mean, the general plot points. Do you want to get into that right now, or do you want to...
Yeah, so, well, I think it was... I want to say it was John Woo's first, like, fully American movie.
Yeah.
He did a bunch of Hong Kong movies, and then give him the plot of the movie.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about John Woo at the time. I remember really loving Jean-Claude Van Damme. I loved Bloodsport. I loved all his other, straight to DVD movies and his theatrical releases. But this movie is it's set in New Orleans, and it's basically there's like a band of mercenaries or just kind of crude businessmen that live. They roam town to town, and they set up shop for a little bit. They kind of scour the local veterans halls, and they look for ex-veterans with no families so they can hunt them for sport, or they really sell the experience to like businessmen. They let them pick out weapons and hunt military men for sport. So it's like that classic story of the rich guy wanting to hunt the most dangerous game, which would be the person. Hunting animals isn't enough. They need to hunt somebody who can think and hunt back.
Yeah, it's really like one of the first like big Hollywood movies of the 80s and 90s where they did the Most Dangerous Game spinoff.
Yeah.
And it starred arguably the most, if not the most, the second most biggest action star in the world at the time, Van Damme. I guess Arnold would have been number one, but that was kind of the time where he was slowing down a little bit in the early 90s. Terminator 2 had just come out a few years ago, and he was still doing stuff, but he kind of slowed down and was getting into business and stuff. So Van Damme kind of took over. And this is actually Van Damme's kind of like not his last big movie, but his last big movie before he started to melt down with like the Street Fighter, Cocaine, Rampage, and all the other stuff. But it's a pretty straightforward premise. It's been done a bunch of times, but this is actually one of my favorite action movies from the 90s. And It's not the best, but I think it is actually my favorite.
It's one of my favorites for sure. It's up there. For sure. I'm a sucker for Van Damme, but this was, I think, between this and Bloodsport, this is his best movie for sure.
Yeah, and this is more, whereas that one is like almost like, it's definitely an action movie, but there's a lot of sports elements into it, like a tournament. This is like an action movie. It's like a lot of fighting, but he's like fighting like organized crime and like mercenaries and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the general plot of this movie. What are some things or some scenes that stick out for you for this one?
There's so much that sticks out. I mean, the first thing that I can remember that we always kind of cite a lot is the initial scene of showing what he can do. Like, he wears a trench coat throughout at least the beginning of the movie, and some bad guys are picking on a girl, and he goes out to confront them, and it's coming to a fight basically, and he like throws his trench coat aside, and you think he's gonna have a gun underneath, but there's nothing. It's just his leg. That's when he starts whooping ass.
He proceeds to beat the shit out of these guys, like 5 of them at once.
He shows his weapon, which is his foot, and he starts fucking kicking him with steel-toe boots in the face.
He starts off by making a joke that you definitely couldn't make nowadays. He's like, take your pig sticker and your boyfriend and get the hell out of here type of thing.
I see nothing wrong with it. But
I think it's just, I don't obviously have a problem with it, but it's just like, they wouldn't make that now, even though they kind of got over that kind of stuff. But But then he just like beats the shit. He like throws a guy through a window, like he like breaks like the typical thing, like over the shoulder arm break, like snaps the guy's arm in half and like rams the guy head into this like metal statue thing.
Oh yeah,
it's awesome. Like it's the typical like this is how badass our hero is.
Yep.
The movie, like the story kicks off mainly so this woman comes into town, she's looking for her dad, but he had been one of the victims of this hunt, and that's what you see in the opening scene. He gets killed. Yada yada, nothing crazy. And then she's a woman who gets attacked by these guys. So she's like, oh, I need someone to show me around town. So she gets, long story short, she gets Van Damme to show her around town.
And she's looking for her dad, who was one of the persons who was hunted at the beginning of the movie. And Jean-Claude Van Damme just happened to be there when she was getting roughed up. I mean, you kind of get the hint that this town is just like a criminal element. There's not much law enforcement. That's what, the perfect place for these henchmen to set up. Van Damme agrees to kind of help her. He's kind of poor, down on his luck. His name is Chance.
Yeah. Chance Boudreaux.
Because his mama took one.
And he has a mullet, like the most glorious mullet ever.
It was like prime mullet time, I think. 1993, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like that's too late for a mullet.
It was a little bit late.
But it was perfect. But yeah, he agreed to help her because he's down on his luck. He needs money. She's got lots of it. And that's kind of what got her in trouble because she's like flashing her money all over town.
She doesn't know, anything about it. So
situational awareness at all.
Zero. So he's helping her, and they're kind of unraveling the mystery. They're doing some investigation. They end up going to this like sleazy guy, and he's the guy who has a connection to this group. And this movie actually has a great cast. It's like Van Damme, the actress who plays the main character. She's not in it a whole lot, but there's Lance Hendrickson. He plays the heavy, and his number one guy is Pick, but he's the one of the guys from the original Mummy movie.
Yeah, he was from the Mummy. Yeah.
And then he plays the Mummy.
Yeah, he plays what's his name?
I don't remember
that. I don't even remember.
But it's just pure balls to the wall like action. Great movie. Yeah. The thing that sticks out to me is I watched it when we first rented it when we were kids, and then years later, like this is probably early 2000s, it was on TV, and I remember I had a big Magic tournament the next day. And we were making decks, and our other friend Justin hadn't seen it, and I'm like, oh, this movie's awesome, and he wasn't really into action movies. And like we're watching it, and it's on USA, so they cut all the good stuff out. But there's a part that I totally forgot about, and it's always the part I remember the most about this movie. At the last action scene, there's a part where there's this guy. He's one of the background like bad guys who pays to hunt, and he has like this really wild shirt on, and Van Damme comes around the corner and gets the drop on him and like shoots him like, I don't know, he empties his whole magazine, like 12 rounds or something, and like blows the guy's like chest open, and then like for no reason he does like a flying spinning roundhouse kick, and there's this awesome guitar riff goes wow, and like he kicks his cigar out of his
the cigar,
yeah, maybe his glasses too. It's just so awesome. It's the part that I think of the most. It's not like necessarily the best part, but it's like it sticks out the most.
What I like about this movie is like the fighting. It feels like they're actually making contact. Like the boot to the face, like it shows that a lot. Like where he's doing his flying roundhouse, and it actually shows the boot like smacking people in the face. Like I don't know how they did it, but it was pretty cool. Like the way they filmed it all. It was perfect for Jean-Claude Van Damme's skill set, like, doing kicks to the face. So. And then,
so in typical John Woo fashion, these shootouts feel really heavy and really impactful. Like, people are getting, like, there's a lot of great squib work. Even heroes who get killed or good guys, like, there's, like, big chunks of, like, blood spraying out and stuff. They don't get, like, necessarily, like, a hero's death. They just get, like, a violent end.
And the stunts were amazing too, like him standing on the motorcycle and doing a flip.
Yeah,
over, the car that he crashed into. It was pretty cool.
There's there's a little. It's kind of like the initial action scene we talked about where he fights all the thugs. There's a little bit of lull where they're doing the investigation, but once the shit hits the fan, like it's nonstop action for the last hour of the movie.
And it's like a lot of slow-mo work in this movie too, right?
Yeah.
It was like, that's like the first time I remember seeing slow-mo really, and I think John Woo was famous for that, or, he used it a lot. And
the hyper-stylized, like Hong Kong style.
I feel like that movie kind of set the tone for a lot of movies that followed, because like a lot more people started using that slow-mo stuff, at least at the end of the 1990s, early 2000s, they were Matrix and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was John Woo, because he did a bunch of movies in Hong Kong, and when he came here, I think this was his first. But then he did like Face Off, and he did, what was the other one? I think he did like Broken Arrow, maybe. I think he did a couple more American movies, but he brought that style and merged it with the American, like more rough and tumble action movies. And it was, to me, like it was done best in Hard Target, like as far as like the American versions. I mean, there's an argument to be said about Hard Boiled being better. But spoiler, I like Hard Target better. I know it's controversial, but are there any other scenes or anything else that sticks out in this movie?
All of the Mardi Gras graveyard scene. So it's like the final showdown between Jean-Claude Van Damme gets cornered in it's like a big warehouse that's full of Mardi Gras floats.
Yeah.
And
fireworks and stuff.
There's how many henchmen? Like there's a bunch of like
25.
So there's like elite henchmen, and then there's like a bunch of guys in black leather and motorcycle helmets that are just like, throwaway bad guys. But there's at least 25, maybe even 50.
and there's like the guys who pay to hunt him because like they declare him the ultimate target for obvious reasons. Like the story itself doesn't really matter as much, but they declare him the ultimate target. So like, it's this hunt's going to be extra. It's going to be like 500,000, whatever it is. Yeah. But if you kill him, then you don't have to pay, kind of thing. Yeah, and
they brought back all the people who have hunted before, and they're like all big buff guys, and they each have their own special weapon. And
I want to say the guy in the shirt I was talking about earlier. He's the guy.
He's in a lot.
He's in a lot of stuff. He's in Gladiator as the retired gladiator.
He's like Arnold Schwarzenegger's trainer, I want to say.
I believe so.
Yeah, he's in a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, a lot of Van Damme movies. Same thing with the guy who gets kicked through the window at the beginning of the movie. He's like, I've seen him a lot in a lot of Van Damme movies, and he's always like a stunt guy that's always getting his ass whooped and thrown through windows and stuff. Yeah,
those guys hold up Hollywood.
They're good.
Anyways, like you said, they tracked him to this Mardi Gras graveyard, and like it's a showdown between him and meanwhile earlier he had met his uncle, which is played by Wilford Brimley.
Diabetes.
Uncle Brimley. He's like this Cajun
Uncle Duvet,
like hermit guy who's like also a badass with a bow. So it's them and the girl versus all the bad guys. It's this big confrontation, lots of shooting, lots of explosions, martial arts. It's awesome. It's like awesome action scene. It's like 20 minutes long.
Yeah, we got a lot of mileage out of that movie, especially like after you said Justin, your friend, watched it, and there's so many things that when we rewatched it, we noticed, like the old dusty shotgun that he blew and it like came perfectly clean.
Yeah, the uncle pulls it out of the rafters, and it's like, well, first of all, he's like, hey, did you saw my 30-06? He's like, no, a Gatorade. Because I still got your shotgun. And that's like, we'll still say that line from time to time. He pulls his shotgun down, it's like caked in dust, and he just like cocks it and like blows on it gently, and all that. It's like clean the next scene.
Was it the same Sorry About the Shirt guy that he like shot a bunch, that he did a roundhouse kick and then shot him again a bunch?
He doesn't shoot him. He like shoots him a bunch, and he does a roundhouse kicks, and then as he's like dying, he's like, sorry about the shirt. I forgot to say that part, but the guitar riff kind of threw me off.
Yeah, you forgot about Sorry About the Shirt.
Yeah, there's like so much great like action in this movie. There's one of the cool parts is where the second henchman Pick, he does like all the heavy work for the boss. He's like a badass too. Like you can tell that he's like, he can hold his own. And then during the big showdown, him and Van Damme have this mini showdown where they're like, there's this cool scene where they're like back to back, but there's like a wall. So, and then like they're like reloading their guns, like shit talking each other, and then they go after each other at the same time. They're like shooting like point blank.
Yeah, through the wall, like at each other.
And of course, like Van Damme gets the best of him and like shoots him up and like does something with the grenade, like throws him off, kicks him out the window, and he blows up or something. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's kind of foggy. It's been a while, but so some of the details. Is there anything else that's sticking out for this movie?
I mean, we hit most of the key elements. The snake part where
oh yes, I was gonna talk about that.
They're in the woods. It's like Jean-Claude Van Damme and the girl, and you think that they're gonna make out or something, but really, like
he's like, do you trust me? And she's like obviously into because it's prime Van Damme.
Yeah, she closes her eyes and like puckers up, and he like grabs behind her head, and there happened to be a snake there, and it's like a weird like little animatronic snake that it's like, and he just smacks it on the head and
like
knocks it out. And he sets a trap with it.
Yeah, and it kills the guy later. And there's also that cool guitar riff when you see this thing's like, Wee!
Yeah. There's a lot of guitar riffs.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of cool parts, but one thing that always bothered me was Lance Hendrickson. He's like this like super like mastermind guy, but he made the dumbest decision ever. His weapon of choice sucks.
It sucks, but you just get the.
He doesn't really do a lot of the heavy work.
Yeah, I get the impression he just likes it for the show, and it's.
It's like a sawed-off rifle of some sort.
Single
shot.
It's like a break action single shot pistol that he has to. I mean, it's a very high caliber pistol. You get the impression that it blows barrels away and stuff. But yeah, the choice of weapon.
It's not practical at all.
It's not practical, but I think he's just flashy and likes the show, and he doesn't really kill people that often. I think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So that's the general of Hard Target. It's awesome. So
Very awesome.
Again, we don't do a scale here. Like there's no grading scale. What would you rate this? Is your personal opinion? What would you rate this movie out of 10?
So my personal opinion, it's definitely a 9. Like it's as high as action movies get for me, I think. And if anyone else is watching this, I can see how they could rate it a 5, a 6, or whatever. But for me, I'm a sucker for Van Damme, and I love this movie, so I'd say it's a 9.
I honestly agree. This movie didn't get good ratings, and it's like kind of like mocked as a bad movie, which I don't understand. Like it as far as like action movie stories, the story is just like average at worst, and the action is like top notch. I honestly, in my opinion, I am definitely skewed more towards action movies, especially older ones with like lots of practical. To me, this is a 9.5.
Yeah,
I love this movie. It's one of my favorites. It's definitely in my top 20. And I think it's better than Hard Boiled. I know it's an unpopular opinion. This is Van Damme's best movie. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So, 9.25? So, obviously, we would recommend it if you like action movies and you haven't seen it. So, that brings us to the bad movie that we watched for this week. You want to take this one, or you want me to do it?
I don't even remember the name. What is it?
It's called Deadly Prey.
Deadly Prey, yeah.
This is a notorious, famous, bad movie. It's kind of similar to Hard Target, where they're hunting people, but they're not doing it for profit necessarily directly. Tell them about it.
So, unlike Hard Target, they're not intending to pick up military targets to hunt. They're just picking up random people off the street. So there's a band of mercenaries out in the woods, like a remote location, but they do reveal that it's 75 miles southeast of Los Angeles, which is not it's like maybe desert, but for some reason they filmed it in like a tropical area.
It looks like South Africa or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. But anyways, they moved into that section of the woods. They're training a mercenary camp to work for some businessman to they're going to be mercenaries for hire on behalf of the businessmen, and he's going to, sell them their services all over the world. So they are picking up random bums off the street to hunt, to, kind of train their troops there. It's really a dumb plan. It's a dumb plan. The businessman, he wasn't really that bad, but he didn't really vet the people that he was, setting up business with, I guess, because he had no idea that they were hunting people. Like, he didn't find out till halfway through the movie. And yeah,
there's like corporations that are like mercenaries, and this is like a legal thing you can do. And then, so maybe it's not like the nicest thing to do, but it's like, it's a practice that humankind does. And then this guy finds out, he comes down personally, doesn't even send somebody.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, stop hunting people. I'm okay with breaking a few eggs, but don't fucking kill innocent people and get us involved in murder. Yeah. And the guy's doesn't understand why.
And the thing about this movie is in Hard Target, they actually explained that they were vetting they're homeless,
careful about it.
Yeah, they're homeless veterans that didn't have friends. And the only thing that got them in trouble was, the girl's dad kind of lied and said that, I have nobody. And
yeah,
but, she hadn't seen him in a long time, so she was looking for him because he kind of disappeared. But these guys, they're just picking up random people off the street. And one day, they pick up the wrong guy who just happened to be a badass, basically.
And happened to be trained by the head bad guy.
They picked up Christian Bale, muscle Christian Bale off the street.
Steroid Christian Bale?
Yeah.
It's funny because so it opens up with this guy, some chubby accountant guy getting hunted down, and they murder him, and they're like, oh, this guy sucks. But
they barely beat him. He knocked some guy with a rock. He dodged a lot of gunfire, and what got him was a a grenade.
Yeah, they like, and then they come back and they're like, well, how'd the training go? It went bad. They're like, well, we need to get someone like tougher. So they go out and look for a tougher guy. And then Muscle Christian Bale's like taking out his trash, and he's like wearing like hot pants, like basically like they're like as far as down from his waist is like 4 inches. That's how like high they are. And they find him, and the scene looks totally like they're gonna like kidnap him, abduct him, and like sexually assault him or something. It's like really like weirdly homoerotic.
It looked like the start of like a gay porn setup.
It definitely did.
It's like, there's a guy, let's get him.
Yeah, that guy looks tough.
Yeah, and he was like, in hot pants, and then they immediately stripped him down.
Yeah, oiled him up.
Took his shoes off. He had some thick old thighs. I see why they captured him.
Dylan got quite excited.
Ooh, yeah, he was a muscled Christian Bale.
The guy was jacked. I think it's one of the Pryor brothers. I have to look it up. Maybe I'll put it up here.
His name was Pryor something.
Yeah, the Pryor, David and I forget the other one. They did a bunch of low budget movies, and they were like, I mean, pretty big B stars in the during the time. So, anyways, they hunt him. The movie's kind of like a giant mess. So that's the basic plot. They hunt him. He keeps getting caught. He keeps killing like 20 guys at once. Like,
he would kill guys, and he'd pick up their guns in one scene, and like you'd just never see him use that same gun again. He keeps resorting back to like, it kind of was trying to mimic, Rambo 1, where he's like in the woods with no resources, and he was like using nature to kill people, basically, sticks and
pretty much
knives that he found. But, he kept getting access to guns. He would even pick them up, and then they just disappear, like phantom guns that just never resurfaced.
So that's basically the story. Like, and then like, they kidnap his wife, and end up killing her. Spoiler alert, his father-in-law gets involved, but basically it's just like he ends up killing everybody.
Yeah.
So what are some parts that stuck out to you from this movie, or that were this is something else we should talk about before we get to this far? Back in the day in our old WoW, it wasn't even Discord, it was in Vent.
Yeah.
We'd all hang out and we would share videos, and stuff. And that show, it was like a channel called Everything is Terrible. They would mash up little edits from movies. And this was a real popular one in our group. And it was just like a bunch of like ridiculous scenes out of context. And some of those are going to be the most memorable stuff for me. But so we were kind of familiar. We actually had watched this movie like a year and a half ago for the channel, but we had some technical issues and we kind of forgot almost everything about it.
I forgot most of it, honestly. Yeah. It's very forgettable.
Definitely. So what are some, after watching it again today, what are some memorable stuff from it?
I mean, there was a lot of bad guys in this movie, but it all just kind of sucked. Like, it was just, I mean, he killed a lot of people, but it was just lame. Everything was lame. There was no, like, you never felt any of the gunshots. You never, basically
there's no slip work.
Yeah, shoot off screen, and then, like, some guy just falls down.
Yeah.
And, he would throw sticks at people and, like, spear them and stuff, and that was okay. The bad guy was really bad, and he seemed kind of like he had a screw loose. And
yeah, he did a lot of mustache twirling, and they did a bunch of stuff to make him seem extra bad. Like, he kidnaps his wife and, assaults her and, like, brags about it. And, like...
he was just... But he wasn't good. Like, he was supposedly the guy training everybody. He even trained, the Deadly Prey guy, who's his best soldier. But the main bad guy just sucked. Like, you can't... He's not very believable as a good trainer of killers. Like,
is there any like one scene or one shot in particular that sticks out that's like was like ridiculous or whatever?
I mean, I love the showdown between the main badass henchman, the actual competent henchman, versus the good guy.
Well, the first time or the second time?
The last one, the one that it ended with, where he chops his arm off with a machete.
Well, first of all, it's like this big long confrontation. He's like killing all these guys. Yeah. The head henchman finds the guy's wife who was kidnapped.
Yeah.
And he pulls her out, and like you think he's gonna hold her for ransom. He's like annihilates, just like blows her head off.
That was surprising to me. Like, he just he in Hard Target, Van Damme saves everyone. In this movie, all of the loved ones of the main guy die. Like there's nobody safe. So yeah,
so then Deadly Prey sees this and he goes in a rage.
Yeah, he goes in a rage.
And he charges the guy who has like M1 Grand like 15 feet away and he's like blasting at him.
Yeah, he's like shooting him and he doesn't phase him and he just grabs the arm and
he grabs it, yeah,
chops his arm off and
he does like a jumping, slicing down, like blasts the guy's arm off.
But that's not enough. He uses that arm as a bludgeoning weapon to like beat the shit out of the bad guy. Like,
it's really good.
Beat the living hell out of him and then just executes him.
Well, he scalps him.
Yeah, he scalps his head.
He's like, it sets up the shot where he's like scalping him, and then it pans up to his face. And he's like, ah! And he goes, ah! And he pulls the scalp and like throws it at the main guy or something.
Yeah, he got real excited at the end with that little. Another scene that really stuck out was the main bad girl. They kidnapped Deadly Prey's wife. They brought her to the camp. He somehow made it home to go check on his wife, and for some reason, the main bad guy sent the girl henchman to his house and
to wait for him.
Yeah,
he knew he was an escape or whatever.
Yeah, and like she just sets her gun down, and he, bitch slaps her, and then grabs the gun and just like executes her.
He shoots her like 4 or 5 times in the face.
Yeah.
Like, why would she ever set her gun down? Like, he's like super dead. He's killed like 45 guys at this point.
I know. It's just funny. It was a weird scene, but it was very funny that he just like annihilates her right there.
He didn't hesitate at all. He's like pissed off.
And they did kidnap his wife. Oh, he did find out that she was assaulted,
Yeah.
At that time, I guess.
One of the things, it's kind of a smaller thing, but it's like, there's like a part one of the henchmen comes in and, because this movie's kind of a blur, like a lot of these bad movies, but this henchman comes in and he gives the head bad guy, like, some bad news, and like, he like pushes him out, like the second henchman like pushes him out and like beats the shit out of him, like spin kicks him and like snaps his neck. Just like he's just like showing how like ruthless these guys are. But you've already seen like them kill like a bunch of people at this point already anyways.
Another scene, so Deadly Prey ends up, he finds one of his old ex-military buddies in the movie, like, he's a part of the mercenary gang, just kind of joining for the love of the game, and they eventually come face to face. They fight at first, and then they recognize each other. And his friend is like, "Oh yeah, you saved my butt back in Nam, and I'm gonna do you one solid here, and not fight you anymore." And anyways, they end up teaming up at the end of the movie, and they kind of work together. And his friend is like just a weird character, but he ends up knocking out some guy in a tent, and
it's like
he grabs a grenade off of his belt. He pulls the pin, but keeps the the mechanism in place, and like puts it under the knocked out guy's head. Like, you think he's setting a trap for like multiple people, but
it's like wake him up and pull him up or something.
But anyways, later on, like the guy wakes up and it's just him alone in the tent, and he blows up, and like the good guy's like, what was that? He's like, "Oh, that's my calling card."
He's just like this horrible murderer.
He's like a psychopath. And
well, earlier there, he was like in the first scene, like he was one of the first like fresh recruits, and they're like, it's like 4 guys are like, "Why are you here?" And they're like, the money. And then it goes to him, he's like, "For love of the game."
Yeah.
So he just like wants to kill people.
He just likes to kill, but like he gets the chance to kill the main bad guy, the one that's like doing all the horrible stuff that he doesn't agree with, and he just decides not to. Like, he literally put a grenade under some sleeping guy's head that used to be his, coworker.
Yeah. The overall feeling of this movie that stands out, it's like, they kind of just they don't waste any time. They go right into the good parts of the movie. He kills like 50 guys, and maybe more, maybe like 60 or 70. There's not like a lot of downtime. The movie's kind of boring just because it's so incompetent, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like its heart's in the right place. Like this is to me way better than watching like the Cruel Jaws last week.
Yeah, you wouldn't be disappointed, in the 90s as a kid seeing this movie, renting it, or even it would probably come on like USA or some, just movie channel or whatever. You'd see it, and it's fine for a one-time fun watch, and it's
it's a great movie to get around with friends and make fun of.
Yeah, a lot of the fun comes from just the badness of the movie, and
it is a well-known like legendarily like beloved bad movie.
Yeah, and it did seem similar to Hard Target at sometimes, and honestly, Hard Target copied some things off of this movie. I'm sure it had been done before, but like the scene that stuck out that was in Deadly Prey as well as Hard Target was the main good guy in both movies pulled a grenade off of a bad guy, pulled the pin, and put it down somebody's pants.
Yeah.
And that happened in both movies. So
John Woo, you got some explaining to do.
I know, you're copying Deadly Prey.
I'm trying to think. There's a scene where like one of the I guess the last thing that sticks out to me at least is Deadly Prey's like running through like this open field. He's getting chased by a helicopter, and like he like stops and turns around and like turns himself Broadway, like so he's like facing the guy from the helicopter shooting at him to like give him a perfect target. And they're like exchanging shots. He never gets hit, of course. Oh, yeah. He like lays down to shoot him like in an open field
from the hip,
and then finally he sets a grenade in the grenade launcher portion, and like he launches it. And it's like this really bad effect of like it shows the thing and it cuts away to like a blank screen and like there's a big explosion. It's like the cheapest effect ever, but it's kind of like also endearing at the same time. It's like these guys didn't have a lot of money. Yeah. And they made a movie that's just entertaining and it's just fun. It's a really good bad movie.
I would much rather see effects like that than CG. And like, yeah, what it looked like to me was like there was a screen of a helicopter, like, you see it on a movie screen, and then there was like a fire in front of it, but it was like a very quick, like little thing that happened. And it was bad, but
a fireball against a black screen, and it was like interposed over, like overlaid or whatever. Anything else stick out in this movie? Like funny scenes or anything? Oh, there's a part, it's just such a small part, but somebody, I forget who it is, they're talking to the head bad guy, and by this point he's like murdered a bunch of people, and like at this point he's like kidnapped that woman and like assaulted her, and then someone's talking to him, he's like, well, why don't you trust me? And like I don't know if I'll put it up here from our reaction cam today, but if not, you just have to trust me. Like my first thought was like, because you're like a killing and raping guy. Like he had done all this like bad stuff. He's like, why aren't you trusting me?
Yeah, that was definitely funny at the time.
That was just like ridiculous. And anything else stick out?
I mean, the throwaway character. So the girl, so Deadly Prey's wife, like through part of the movie after Deadly Prey gets kidnapped, she talks to her police dad, like retired
Cameron
police
Mitchell.
dad. Yeah, and
legendary B actor movie.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him before in other movies, and she talked to him, and he's doing his investigative work to find wherever they took Deadly Prey, and he made no impact in the movie, and
his arc did nothing to the movie.
Did nothing to the movie, but he was just kind of fun, and that was one of the scenes that we kind of quoted on our Ventrilo channel. Was
he comes across the soldier.
He's like, "Yeah, are you friend or foe?" And the guy's like, "Oh, I'm a friend." And he just shoots him and says, "You're a liar.
You're a liar." Yeah, it's one thing we still literally quote to this day in 2026. And then, he also is the one who he kills the businessman. He like sneaks on the base and hears a conversation between the businessman and the head bad guy. And he goes on this like long diatribe about like you're profiting off of war, blah blah blah, and just like mows this guy down point blank.
Yeah, he just like executes him. And
hold on, technical difficulties again.
Yeah,
we're just gonna finish it like this.
Yeah,
we're gonna wrap it up now, anyways. So Dylan, no grading scale. What would you give this movie out of 10? What would you give Deadly Prey out of 10?
I would give this movie a 3.5 out of 10.
What are some of your reasonings behind that?
I mean, like I said, it would be a movie that I have a soft spot for these movies because we watched these kind of movies as a kid. We'd rent them with our dad all the time, and it's just like anything with guns and just a low budget Rambo clone copy. Like I give it a bonus point. I mean, it's definitely more entertaining than Cruel Jaws was.
Yeah.
It's everything I want. Like I want like a lot of bad guys, and then when you think all the bad guys are done, more bad guys appear, and like an endless supply of bad guys. But it just wasn't done well enough to give it any higher than 3.5 for me. So.
Yeah, it's incompetent. I'm a little bit more generous. This basically the same thing you're saying, but I'm going to give it a 5 just because they just did the movie they wanted to do. They wanted to do this big, like, loud action movie. It's like, you know, caught like on the par with Rambo. Obviously, they would never be able to do that.
No.
If I was being like truthfully honest, it's probably like a 2. But just like they went for it. It's like gives you, like you said, everything you want, and they don't care. They just like did the thing they wanted to do, and I like that spirit. I like that mentality. So it's gonna get like 3 bonus points for that.
Okay, I'll go up to 4 for.
I convinced you
for
a little
that
bit.
reasoning. Yeah.
So if you had to tell people to watch one movie of these two based upon men being hunted, which would it be?
I mean, I think everybody that I know knows that I like Hard Target, and of course I would recommend Hard Target. Like, that's something that anybody I know who hasn't watched Hard Target, I make them watch that. So I'm gonna see if my girlfriend has seen it, so I can make her watch it someday.
Yeah, same thing. I would definitely recommend Hard Target to anybody who likes these kind of action movies. I would also recommend Deadly Prey to anyone who likes bad movies. It's legendary.
Yeah,
like, it's not maybe the highest S tier, but it's definitely A tier. It's solid.
Mm-hmm.
So technical difficulties, we're gonna rush out of here. Anyways, that's Dylan. I'm Dustin. Thanks everybody for watching, and if you like it, share it and give us a thumbs up maybe, so we can make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we like money. So anyways,
no.
all right, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
So rip at the shirt.